Gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the channel. It's your boy, World of Wrestling, here today to discuss about MMA news, rumors, episode number 5. We're going to go over some articles here that I accumulated over the weekend and bookmarked to talk about with you guys here today. The first one I'd like to talk about is about Leon Edwards claims he offered to step in for a Belal Muhammad rematch at UFC 315. So Leon Edwards was hoping to get his title fight rematch with UFC welterweight champion Belal Muhammad sooner than expected. Muhammad was expecting to defend his welterweight title against Shavkat Romanov May 10th at UFC 315 in Montreal, but Romanov couldn't make that date due to injury. That's when the UFC opted to pull Jack Della Maddalena from his UFC Fight Night 255 headliner against Leon Edwards on March 22nd in London to face Muhammad. Edwards, who is 22-4 overall MMA-wise, 14-3 in the UFC, will now face Sean Brady instead. That's going to be a good fight. I don't know who's going to win that fight, truthfully. I think Sean Brady has a shot at being Leon Edwards, but I'm not sure 100 yet. But I'd say Sean Brady's got a shot at this fight. However, before that came together, the former champion offered to run it back with Muhammad, who's 24-3 overall and 15-3 in the UFC. I heard about my replacement fight probably a couple of weeks before, Edwards said on his YouTube channel. I was in talks with the UFC. I was trying to step in to fight Belal, but I know that they sold London around me, so it was difficult to take me off the card and leave Jack on the card, because it would be weird to let Jack headline London. I got a new opponent, Sean Brady. It's a style that I'm used to, a style that I'm comfortable fighting. Yes, I'm looking forward to it. It should be good. Edwards says he was told by the UFC that his fight with Brady, 17-1 overall MMA and 7-1 in the UFC, will serve as a title eliminator. Ooh, this is big for Sean Brady, man. Holy shit. If Bull beats him, then, like I said, the rematch is there for me as well. Edwards said, I spoke to the UFC. They told me that after this win, this is a number 1 contender fight. Whoever wins this fight for the title for the title will, when I win this fight, I fight for the title. That is my aim. My aim is to get back that 2-time world championship, and the result of the fight with me and Belal, everyone knew that fight wasn't me. Muhammad, who dethroned Edwards to become champion at UFC 304, responded by laughing off Edwards' claim. And Belal said, laugh emoji, someone tell me he got 3 long years ahead of him. Oh, wow. So, they got some friction between the two of them, Muhammad and Edwards. I actually am looking forward to the Leon Edwards-Sean Brady fight a lot more than a rematch between these two. I think Sean Brady might be looking past, or Leon Edwards might be looking past Sean Brady. Personally, I think Sean Brady might give him a run for his money. It won't be no easy win or anything like that, and I think Sean Brady could give him a fight of his life. Sean Brady's a young, upcoming star. He's a guy that, has plenty of shelf life in him, and he could really surprise Leon Edwards and pick up a victory in this event next week. I'm looking forward to that fight. Actually, I'm looking forward to that card. Truthfully, actually, it's not next week. It's March 22nd. My bad. That's 2 weeks from now. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that fight, that event. That event looks like it should be good. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely check that out. So I'd like to go ahead and talk about Raul Rosas Jr. He's actually set to make a return at UFC on ESPN 64 to face Vince Morales. Vince Morales, I've heard of. I think Raul Rosas is going to have a fucking field day with this dude. I don't think he's going to have any issues with him. I think he's going to beat him to a fucking pulp, taking him to the ground and keeping him there the entire time. Personally, that's what I think. But anyway, let me go ahead and read this to you guys. Raul Rosas Jr. has the first assignment of 2025 on March 29th. Rosas Jr., 10-1 overall MMA, 4-1 in the UFC, returns at UFC on ESPN 64 to take on Vince Morales. The event headlined by Brandon Moreno versus Steve Erceg. That is going to be a fucking good fight on March 20th. Back-to-back good fucking main event fights. Holy shit. I'm looking forward to both weeks. Damn. UFC's spoiling the shit out of its fans now. From 2 weeks in a row of good main event fights. Who knows what the rest of the card's gonna be like. So, MMA Junkie confirmed the bantamweight booking following a first report from ESPN Deportes. Raul Rosas Jr. will look to extend his current winning streak to 4 after a decision setback against Christian Rodriguez, who is a good fighter. At UFC 287, Rosas Jr. picked up back-to-back performance of the night bonus earnings. Finishes of Terrence Mitchell and Ricky Tercios. In his most recent outing, Rosas Jr. won in a unanimous decision over Arul Kaling at UFC 306. I think that was the September 14th inside the Sphere. Morales, who is 16-9 MMA overall, 3-7 UFC. Oof, what a fucking terrible record. Aims to get in the winning column for the first time on his second run in the promotion after exiting the UFC in 2022. Morales ripped through the regional scene, notching 5 wins with 4 finishes to earn another shot on the big stage. However, since his return in September 2024, Morales has ended up on the wrong side of 2 decisions against Taylor Lapilus and Elijah Smith. So, with the addition of the UFC on ESPN 64 lineup includes Brandon Moreno versus Steve Erceg, Vince Morales versus Raul Rosas Jr., Kevin Gastelum versus Joe Pyfer. Oh wow, that's gonna be a fun fight to watch. I think Joe Pyfer is gonna knock his ass clean out. Drew Dauber versus Manuel Torres. I've heard of both of them. Lupi Godinez versus Julia Palostri. Rafa Garcia versus Joaquim Silva. Ronaldo Rodriguez and Kevin Borges. I mean, some of these fighters I've heard of, others I'm not too familiar with. That's Edgar Suarez versus CJ Verga. I've heard of Edgar Suarez. He's still been on the undercard, the preliminary fights. He's never been on the main card. So yeah, this definitely looks like a decent card. especially that it's going to be in front of a audience. It should be at the Arena CMDX in Mexico. So that should be pretty entertaining. I look forward to that one. I think that's going to be a lot of fun to watch. They got a pretty decent card here. So can't wait to see that one. That's on March 29th. So I'm looking forward to that event as well. And another story I'd like to go over with you guys is actually the a UFC fighter that headlined the main event last week, Manel Camp. He actually earned his shot for a flyweight title fight against Alexander Pantoja, who is the current champion. They actually had some respectful exchange after the UFC Fight Night event from last week. Cap, I think it pronounces Cap or Camp. Oh, Camp is 21-7 overall, 7-3 in the UFC. Scored a TKO over Asu Abelayev, who is 21-3 overall, 4-1 in the UFC. In this past Saturday's UFC Fight Night main event to emerge as a title contender. Starboy is 6-1 in his past 7 fights. Cap wants Pantoja is 29-5 overall, 13-3 in the UFC next. And he got a chance to address the champion when Pantoja was called into the ESPN post-fight show. Pantoja, who spoiled Cap's UFC debut in February 2021, had nothing but praise for his former opponent. What a fight. Manuel is so strong. Pantoja said, Manuel is a different level, this guy. Is not on the same level as Manuel. I'm very happy to have Manuel in my division in the UFC because the shows like that. I love to watch Manuel fighting. He's so entertaining. He's so good. He has so many skills in striking. He has good takedown defense. Very good, Manuel. You deserve all the glory. You can come for the title, but I'm here, brother. Usually known for his trash talk on the mic. Capri reciprocated the respect towards Pantoja, but sent him a warning. I'm a big fan of Pantoja. The way he cares for his family just shows how good the man he is. Cap responded. He's not just a fighter. I can see values and principles, and Pantoja is the guy who has these things. He's been working for his kids and his family. I don't have any bad energy. We are respectful, but when it comes to the title, I have to take that belt, man. I want to feed my daughters as well as so does Pantoja. Be ready. Manuel Camp was then asked to break down Pantoja's weaknesses. There is many things I can exploit in Pantoja's game, Cap said. I just see that Pantoja walks forward too much, and brother, I'm a sniper, so prepare for that. That hand is heavy. There's 14 knockouts here in MMA. It's not every weight that has that much knockouts as me. Flyweight, welterweight, bantamweight. I have 14 knockouts, so be ready. When it was Pantoja's turn, he chose not to reveal too much as the pair closed things out in a cordial fashion. You're too cocky, Pantoja laughed. I think somebody's going to beat Pantoja. I thought Steve Erceg beat him. I think it was UFC 301 it was. And I think Steve Erceg won that fight. I think he was a far better striker. But I gotta give it to Pantoja. He is a tough son of a bitch. He really is. He is a tough dude. It is hard to actually put him away. So good luck to Manuel Camp, whatever way you pronounce his name. I do apologize to you guys. But yeah, it should be entertaining to see how Alexander Pantoja actually does against a guy that's on a severe hot streak and is a talented fighter. So they say that he has good takedown defense, which is very important against a guy like Pantoja, because Pantoja will take his opponents down if he's not doing so well in the stand-up game. So if he can go ahead and prevent him from going to the ground, he's as good of a striker as he claims he is, which Pantoja even admit he is. And he's a striker and he hits his opponents with accuracy. I don't see why Manuel Cap can't actually pick up a victory here and become the new flyweight champion. I mean, he's been beaten, so there's a rhyme and a reason for why he has the record he does, and he can always lose. But Pantoja, I mean, he's a pretty badass dude. So I mean, I would definitely be careful of this guy. I'd imagine Camp is gonna be probably the underdog in this fight. Pantoja is going to be the favorite, more than likely, but not by much. I think it's probably going to be Pantoja like minus 250, while Camp is like probably a plus 150 or something like that, or a plus 145 or some shit. More than likely, that's probably what it's going to be. But yeah, I see that Pantoja could possibly lose this title if he goes up against an accurate striker. Because Pantoja, I also seen his weakness. He throws looping punches. So he's a wild brawler, but when he hits, man, does he fucking hit. I mean, he knocks people the fuck out. So it is definitely something that you want to look out for with Pantoja. He's a guy that will definitely hurt you, but still, I mean, if Manuel can go ahead and avoid takedowns and strike from in the stand-up game, and he lights him up, he's going to win it on the judges' scorecards at least, or he might even be able to knock him out, which I don't think Pantoja has been knocked out anytime soon, so that's definitely something to look at, and we might be seeing a new UFC flyweight champion. On the docket of articles I want to read to you guys is actually about Magomed Akhalev. Unsure if UFC appreciates him ahead of Alex Pereira title fight. I got Alex Pereira winning this thing. I am not one bit concerned about Alex Pereira in this fight. If this guy cannot go ahead and take Pereira to the ground, and he literally tries to fight him standing up, he is going to lose. Without question. Alex Pereira is a tough son of a bitch, and nobody can beat him on the feet. This guy is a fucking knockout artist and has hands of stone. I don't see Akhalev actually picking up this victory here unless he can get him to the ground. If he can get him to the ground, then great. He's going to walk away with the title. But I don't see it happening. I even think if he tries to go for a takedown, Pierre is just going to knock him the fuck out with an uppercut or some shit. This guy is just too damn... I've seen him fight so many times, and he's been defending the title in lightweight division. He's been just fucking... The only person that's been able to beat him is Israel Adesanya, and Israel Adesanya is now in a fucking downward spiral. He doesn't even expect to challenge for a UFC title anytime soon. I mean, he pretty much is coming out and saying without saying it that he's fucking washed, in a sense. So, my attitude, real simple. You know, I would just be very careful, Akalev, because your ass is gonna be fucking knocked the hell out. I don't think he's gonna win, and I'm taking Alex Pereira in this fight, and that's just the way I see it. So anyway, so it's been a very frustrating road to the UFC title for Magomed Akalev. Akalev is 21-1 MMA overall, 11-1 in the UFC. Challenges the light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira, who's 12-2 overall and 9-1 in the UFC alone. Fucking impressive record. Israel Adesanya is the only guy that's ever beat him, and that was in a rematch for the title. And then he lost the title again. Or no, wait, he didn't lose the title again. He went up to the light heavyweight division. And this is on Saturday's UFC 313 headliner at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. However, the title opportunity didn't come right away. Akalev battled Jan Blachowicz to a split draw. What the fuck? He's getting a title shot based off of a split draw. The fuck? And they're vacant title fight at UFC 282, but despite the unsettled outcome, the promotion decided to move on from both fighters. Akalev had to fight 3 more times before returning to the title picture. I don't know if he's speaking of the UFC, appreciate me yet, but after this fight, they will make sure to appreciate me, Akalev said. Through an interpreter in a recent scrum in Las Vegas. Pereira took pleasure in watching Akalev have to wait for his title shot, which promoted the Dagestani fighter to resort to uncharacteristic routes to campaign for his opportunity. I don't care the way this affects him, Akalev said of his trash talk to Pereira. I don't care if he takes it close to heart or not. What I know is we're looking at this fight as if it's the last fight ever. We're going to do whatever we can to make sure that we get this opportunity. We're supposed to get this opportunity a long time ago, and he was the one withholding this chance from us for a long time. So we're going to prepare to do whatever we can to win, and if it takes this thing personally, that's up to him. That's not what we're worried about. Unbeaten on his past 13 fights, and with just 1 loss on his record, the long wait hasn't been easy on Akalev. A lot of emotions, Akalev said. Waiting is the worst thing you can do. You just sit there and you wait. Obviously, there was a little bit of frustration going on, but we've been asking for this and waiting for this. It's just been a long time, but now we finally got this opportunity, and that's behind us. We're going to do whatever we can to make sure to get this victory. Akalev, you're going to be sadly mistaken. If you're going to have a split draw with Jan Blachowicz, who was a former UFC, I believe a former UFC light heavyweight champion, you couldn't beat him. The guy's older than you. You're far younger than he is, and you can't beat him. I think at that time he was like probably in his early 30 years old. He's now 32, so I think it was like 2 years ago. And you face a guy that's currently now in his like mid 30, I'd say he's like 36, 37 maybe. And you can't beat him and you end up being in a draw. You definitely did something wrong in that fight, bro. Seriously, I don't think he's that great of a fighter. Compared to Alex Pereira, I mean, give me a fucking break. He should have just beat the dude, or at least knocked him out. But no, I think Alex Pereira is going to walk away with the W here. I don't think there's anything to worry about. But I mean, as long as Pereira can keep the fight standing, which is his strong suit, that's all he needs to do. Just keep the fight standing and beat his ass, and he'll walk away with the W. I predict the fight will end within the first 3 rounds. I don't think it's even going to the championship rounds nor the judges' scorecard. So I give Pereira the W, and he's going to walk away with a knockout, guaranteed. Anyway, guys, that's all I have to say at this time. You know what to do. Hit the like button if you liked the video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. Thank you guys very much for watching. And have a great night, guys. Bye.